I've got with me here the new Ecovacs. It's called the Deebot X2 Omni. Now, this is a feature-packed, very smart, advanced, AI-capable robot vacuum cleaner with its auto clean station. So this is where it will go back. It will scrub out, clean the mops at 55 degrees Celsius, dry them out. It will also empty out the internal dustbin into a 3-litre dustbin right here. And what about the unit itself? Well, it's got 8,000 PA maximum suction performance. It has two mops that spin at 180 RPM. They apply 6 newtons of pressure, so they go along scrubbing the ground. It has mop lift, so it can also lift those mops up 15 millimeters. And we have AI-VI 3D 2.0. with the front cameras. So that's AI obstacle avoidance. I'll be testing that out. And it also does have a live preview feature. So this is great for checking up on pets or doing just a bit of security monitoring of your house, for example. And then it has a dual LiDAR setup too with it. So this is great for very fast, accurate mapping. There's no LiDAR tower on the top of it. So the robot vacuum is a little bit shorter than the competition. I'll be going over what it's like too, how the app works, cleaning tests, and let you know all about this new Ecovacs model. Now, what is also included with the auto clean and auto empty station and the vacuum itself is this extension here for the base. We have our AC power cable, instruction manual in various different languages, and this right here, which is our side sweeper brush. What sets the X2 Omni apart from the competition is its squared design here. So you can see it's got a D shape to it. This means the side sweeper brush can get right into the corners here. Now there is a carpet detection sensor up the front, 360-degree wheel. So with that carpet sensor, of course, when you set it in the options, it can increase the suction performance when it does detect mats and carpets. So the roller brush, this is quite a bit wider than what you traditionally see on most of the robot vacuums that I'm reviewing, the circular ones, because it's quite a bit longer here. Now the length of this particular brush here is 20 centimeters and it's using the rubber style. Now it's very easy to lift that out and lift out the brush there for maintenance and cleaning. So both of our wheels suspended there, they can handle climbs of 2.2 centimeters around the side here. So we've got 2 on this side, 2 there, 2 at the front. The full sensors, so they will detect anything like stairs, so it won't end up going down, say, a stairwell, which of course you don't want. And then these are our 2 mops, which are using microfiber cloth. These mops do spin at 180 RPM and apply 6 newtons of downward pressure when they're going along scrubbing the floor. Now the mop lift feature, it's 15 millimeters to get them up and out of the way, so great for short pile carpets. And if you need to remove these microfiber cloths for cleaning, maintenance, and when you need to just replace them, well, it's Velcro that holds them on, so you can easily pull those off and replace them. You would have noticed that the Deebot X2 Omni does not have the typical LiDAR tower at the top of it. That's because it's located here in the left-hand corner. Now it's using a dual LiDAR navigation system, and it also does have the AI-powered AI-VI 3D 2.0. So this is 3D mapping, and it can detect objects. And that obstacle avoidance I will be putting to the test later on in the video. Now these cameras you can log into, you've got a live home monitoring, so 2-way calls, and it's an RGB camera with a 960p resolution. On the back are the 2 charging contact points for when it goes back into the auto empty and auto clean station. And note right here, there is a nozzle. This is an inlet there for the internal water tank, which is 180 milliliters. So this continually keeps wetting those mops. And notice the mops are in their upright position. So that's the mop lift in action there with that 15 millimeters. The outlet for the internal dustbin for the auto empty function is right here. Now, if you want to gain access to our 420 milliliter internal dustbin, very easy to do so. So all you need to do is just lift off that top lid. Now it's held in place with magnets, and that gives us easy access to that dustbin. So to remove it, you just lift up on that little handle and it comes out. Here is where you'll find our main power on and off switch, the reset Wi-Fi button, and this is a touch power on and off button. It's got microphones there, and they do have now their Eco 2.0 voice assistant, which has been upgraded from the previous versions. Then the Omni station, so this is where it goes to clean those mops and empty out its internal dustbin. So right down here in the bottom, that's where the mops are scrubbed. Now they're washed and cleaned with hot water at 55 degrees. And I do like this, that the wash area, the washboard you could say, is removable. And that makes it nice and easy to clean. Then the dustbin, which is located in this middle compartment, this has a capacity of 3 liters. And all you need to do is just press on the middle here. That then pops down and you can slot out our dust bag. Now, this dustbin here, you see it has sealed itself now when I remove it. That means none of the dust and debris is going to go anywhere, and you can just throw that then into your rubbish bin. And up top, you'll find the 2 water tanks. So if you just look under the lid, you'll find a guide on the station, which is in a very handy location, so you're never going to lose that. And the tank capacities, well, we've got clean water, 4 liters, dirty water, 3.5. And both of these tanks are very easy to remove. So they just simply slot in and out like so, and they're very easy to fill up. The whole lid opens up. Here is our application. So if you want the live preview, you can just simply tap here and go into this. Now this feature I do really like, and by the way, you set the password you want for this. So if someone does not have that password, there's no way they're going to be able to access that. So there's a good bit of security there involved. So it just stated then that live video has started, and there you can see the preview. So I'm able to control this. I can move it all about. I can start a call. You can put it onto home patrol mode where it will go around and it will take a snapshot of the areas. This is good just for peace of mind, really, just to know that your house is fine, it's secure. And if you've got pets, I really do think this is a great option to have with your robot vacuum cleaner that not all other brands are offering at the moment. It's still limited. A lot of them have the cameras, but then you can't actually access them and get a live preview. So going in here, you can see the layout, the map of the different rooms. All right, you're able to view this in 3D as well. So if I tap here at the top, you can see the 3D view of this, which is really good. And I'll just go back to 2D. So you can label these, you can set up no-go zones, virtual boundaries, all of that is possible, and you can save up to 4 different maps. Here you have the options for our cleaning, so you can set the vacuum power, which the max plus is the full 8,000 PA, water levels when you're mopping, how many times you want to clean, deep scrubbing, schedule, volume, language, all of those options are all in there. There is really a lot in here with the application. And I'll just show you just a few more little things here. So there's your maps. That's we can go along and edit them. You save those different maps in there. And we'll get just out of that and then back into the settings. Very quickly, just show you that you've got there your cleaning history. It'll tell you when you need to replace certain things, like when you should be cleaning that filter, the side sweeper brush, things like that. The Eco voice assistant settings, robot settings. There is currently just another firmware update that has just come through. Video manager, and you can even share this to another account, which is good. So those updates, they keep coming through. This is now the second one for me. And all the testing that I have done and shown you is with the latest firmware. Now, because of its dual LiDAR setup and the AI VI 3D 2.0, its navigation's very quick. It maps out the rooms quick, it knows exactly where it is, and it does have a very low height compared to the competition. It's just 95 millimeters, so it can get under some very low sofas and beds and things. And I love the fact that it has the squared off front to it. The D shape to it works really well, so it can get into those corners with its side sweeper brush a lot better than the round, typical, traditional robot vacuum cleaners. That's an area where it does excel compared to other models. So it will map out those rooms quickly, it goes around the outer edges first, of course, and then it zigzags back and forth. Pretty standard. They all tend to do that with the LiDAR cleaning, so it's a systematic clean and very good coverage there. And you do get up to the 210 minutes of runtime. So onto my tests now. So first up, the carpet cleaning test. I laid out a lot of dust, cat fur, dirt, and long hairs where robot vacuum cleaners can struggle, especially with the rubber style brushes they use instead of the ones with the bristles. So the positive is they won't scratch up hard floors that are polished. But the downside is on carpets and mats, they do struggle a little bit with long hair. So you can see with this test that the first pass is very good in picking up pretty much everything. And it looks like it got almost everything, but there was a couple of little bits left and some hairs. So second pass did that, got up all the debris, really good, but as you can see, it's left behind quite a few long hairs on this carpet. So that is the weakness of this style of brush. So of course, once it's done all its vacuuming, it'll go back into the auto empty station, suck out the internal dustbin into this one right here, which is 3 liters its capacity. Now I'll give you a sample of what that sounds like, and this is the before of our dustbin. You can see all of the debris is inside there, all of that dust. So here's what it sounds like, and I'll show you the end result after that sample.
About to start to empty the dustbin.
Then you can see that that dustbin, it emptied out everything. There's just some very fine little bits of dust particles that seem to be statically attached to the plastic of that dustbin, which is pretty typical there. So it did a good job of emptying it out, and no blockages in the whole time I have been using it. Then our mopping performance. This is one area where the Deebot X2 Omni really does excel for me because it mops really well. You'll see now. So first up, I laid out my typical test here. So it's a teaspoon of coffee mixed with dirt. That is let to dry, and I bake it on with a hairdryer onto these 2 white tiles. So first pass did a very good job, but you can see there are just some minor little marks left behind. Second pass went over it and did a fantastic job. It got rid of all of it. Now you can see a couple of little specks behind in this sped up footage, but those are little chips in the tile, so we'll never be able to get rid of them at all. So did a really good job. Now the mops, they're dirty now, of course. You can see them. Look how bad they are with all that coffee. Now, will it be able to clean it? It's going to wash and rinse them out at 55 degrees Celsius. So I sent it back to wash it. Here's a sample of what it sounds like. You will hear some gurgling noises. That's typical. That's how it works because it's rinsing them, then sucking up that dirty water, which goes into the dirty water tank.
Start washing the mopping pads with hot water.
And now the after, the end result of those mops. Wow, did it do a good job. They are looking so clean. This has really surprised me. You can't really see any traces of the coffee left at all. So very good mopping performance and mop cleaning performance. Finally, what does it sound like when it is cleaning? So this is the maximum setting, which is Max Plus, and it's the 8000 PA. Here's a very brief sample of what you can expect, how it does sound. Then with its AI VI 3D 2.0 obstacle avoidance, I did a bit of a test. So I've got a shoe, child's toy, and a USB cable. Now it would go around the larger objects like the child's toy, the shoe without any issues. It would sometimes nudge in and push them around a little bit, which is normal. All up, I think this is an excellent robot vacuum cleaner. Really pleased, especially with that mopping performance. So applying the 6 newtons of pressure, scrubbing the floor at 180 revolutions per minute. Really good with its clean. And then it just cleaned in the auto clean station those mops really well. The vacuuming performance does a good job on hard floors and tiles. It lifts up everything because nothing's stuck to those tiles. But on mats and carpets, the hairs, long hairs, tend to get a little bit stuck on top of those mats and carpets, and this is where the rubber brush, as I expected it would do, it failed. It didn't really lift up those hairs well at all, so that's the weakness of our X2 Omni. And the other feature I really did like is, of course, the live camera preview. So this is where you can log in, and you can see now I've got, well, a preview of the house. So it's great for peace of mind. You can check up on pets, you can do a quick little security tour of your apartment, of your house, and you know everything's fine, and that's great peace of mind. So I really do love that feature. So thank you so much for watching my hands-on and tests here of the Ecovacs Deebot X2 Omni.